Hello, welcome back to the Dark Forest. So, I've done a few things since last time. Finally got the carrots into the ground. Rented a planter. Took a while. It's not even that large of a field. Be interesting to see what comes of it. I'm not expecting any big payday, but the farmers market would appreciate the locally grown produce. My part for this small community here. Wasn't completely time wasted though. Sure, it was slow, but it gave me the chance to browse the local used machinery market, and well, as you know, I am prompt to some impulse buying. This beauty caught my eye, the Avocado Street RK22 harvester, capable of harvesting potatoes and onions. How could I resist? This would be great for the farm. Expensive, though. Even with a 46% discount, it still costs over 100 grand, and it's a huge price tag, but worth it in the long run. She will be mine. Oh yes, she will be mine. Before that though, I got to expand the yard at the back. Need more space to turn the trailer around when filling the silage pit. This May is all about fundraising. First harvest is in July, and I don't have a combine. And this potato onion harvester I want won't pay for itself. So, as April comes to an end, May is next, and we've got some work to do. Okay, well, welcome back to the Dark Forest, my Land Reclamation Survival Series here on Farming Simulator 25. This is episode 7. So, I have my eye on the potato and onions harvester currently sitting in the used sales. It's not going to stay forever, so if I'm going to be able to afford it, I need to make some money now. Luckily, we have some stock at the sawmill to sell, and our silage will be fully fermented. So, let's get this wood shifted. It also looks like the mill will run dry, so if I have time to do a deadwood contract, I will also do that as well to replenish the wood stock. Maybe. Okay, we have 6 pallets of beams, planks, and long planks, so I'll take that to the market. You might notice the bridge has also been fully built. That was a little upgrade we did during the last month. Only took a couple of days. Here we are. Alright, $48,616. That's fantastic. And $3.5 grand for an environmental bonus, which is awesome. We're so close to being able to afford the potato harvester. Currently sitting at 90 grand so far. Very happy with that. So once we get the silage sold, we are golden. Alright, well, time for the silage. We've got 165,571 litres of silage, all fermented and ready to sell. Should bring in a pretty penny. Looking at the prices, this isn't exactly the best time for selling silage, but the difference isn't really that big between the top price and the bottom, so we'll just sell it now. Alright, let's get rid of this, and I'm sure this will all go smoothly and with zero issues at all. Collecting that silage was not as graceful as I first imagined it was going to be. This may take a few trips. The trailer fills up to 16,100 litres. Luckily the market is right next door because this is going to take a while. So let's get this sold. We'll see how much we make. Alright, first trailer is going for $1,899. Okay, I can work with that. Small bonus too, that's good. Alright, so we've got some selling to do. Let's get this silage sold. So cue the montage. Okay, so we're almost done selling the silage. Having some issues picking it up, might need to look at that later. For now, we have enough money for the potato and onion harvester, so let's buy it now, and we will finish the silage after. Alright, that's 1,000... No, I wish. That is $101,701. Eek, expensive, but it's mine now, and we will definitely use it. So that leaves us with a whopping $1,172. So let's finish selling the silage so we can make some money back up, and we will go from there. Alright, finally, we're the last trailer for our big silage sale. 10 full trailers, and this was almost full, about 2/3 full maybe, so a wee bit more than that. And I'm sitting on just over $10,000 in the bank now. The silage in total came to about $20,000, maybe a bit more than that. Not terrible. Definitely need to improve the process, was a bit messy picking up the silage from the forage wagon. I think my problem was the pit is small, so it was just piled up too high. Might need to look at building a bigger pit, so I'm not pulling it so steep next time. And if that doesn't work, there is always fermenting silos or belt systems. We have options. So, I'm happy with that, and given the economy is hard, that's not too bad. Right, so, we got our first harvester, but since it's not actually the harvester we will need come our first harvest, let's go pick it up, take it back to the yard. I'm looking forward to using it though. It looks like a decent bit of machinery. Looks like it needs a 200 horsepower tractor, which I don't have. Might need to repair it too before I use it, but we'll address that later. For now, let's just get it back to the yard. Alright, so as per usual, I need more money. And I've noticed we have a fair amount of meadow grass dotted around the farm, so I think I will do a bit of mowing, get it tedded up into hay, and sell that now for a quick buck or two. Then once we're done with that, I think it's time to rest and move on to June. Alright, it is time to sell these hay bales. I've got 112,000 litres of hay. Take it to the market. I don't expect much for it. $8,000-ish with the environmental bonus. That'll do nicely. Alright, one last thing before I move on to the next month. This silage pit was good, but it's a bit small, and it's only made of straw bales. And now that I know I like using the pit, I think I'll make a more permanent one. This one looks good. Only $15,000, doesn't take up too much space, and looks to be bigger than the current one. This should make collecting the silage a little bit easier. We shall see. Alright, just gonna sort the ground out, and we're good. Now that we got the new silage pit, it's time to rest. And then next month, we can fill it. June is here, and it's time for harvest. But our barley isn't ready. Fantastic. So, we'll get the new silage pit filled, and we'll go from there. So let's hitch up the mower and cue the montage. Alright, montage complete, and we got the grass cut and windrowed. So it's time to dump it all in the silage pit. This will take a few trips. And once it's done, it should bring in a decent payday when it's all fermented. At the very least, I imagine to get about $20,000 like I got last time, but I might get more as the year progresses and we go into winter, but we shall see. Well, after a while, this is finally our last load of grass. We have a good amount, 348,000 litres. That is actually way more than what we did have last time, so should bring in a little bit more money too. Should be ready to sell in a couple of months. Before that though, we will need to compact it and level it out. And as you can see, I've made some slight modifications to my John Deere tractor. Got a compactor roller for the rear, and well, I just made it look far more impressive, with some double tires all round, which I'm sure in real life would be a pain in the ass to drive, but in this game it's not so bad. Should help level the silage down and compact it nicely with those big tires, and we need it compacted tight for fermentation. So, now that we're done, let's get this covered and we can move on to the next month, and hopefully, finally, harvest our barley. Well, July is here, and finally, it is time to harvest our barley. My first real crop here in the dark forest, grown in a field I dug out of barren, deforested land. It's been a long time coming, and now that it's here, I can't wait to get started. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It's been a while since I've used a combine, and can't afford one of my own. Not to buy outright anyways. Luckily, Walter said he still has his old combine harvester, said he'd let me borrow it, just had to harvest his field on my side of the valley. The people here really are generous. And he has a New Holland TX32. Gotta love something straight out of the 80s, early 90s. This thing is old as I am and still going strong. Wish I could say the same about myself. Alright, let's head over to Walter's field, get his canola harvested, then we can finally start the first crop harvest for my farm. Ah, that makes me smile. Walter's canola is done. So, it's time for barley. Now, I'm not expecting a huge yield. We've got a couple of small fields now, but I do have two. That's barley, so this should be my highest yielding crop for this season. Hopefully, we get off to a good start. Well, our first field of barley is done, and the first load of barley is 20,000 litres in this truck. I'm going to sell it now. Hopefully I can make a decent amount from it. That would be a no. A measly $5,019. Yeah, that was a bad idea. I should have waited until the sales price was higher, but I was expecting a larger payoff than that. We'll need to find a grain silo for the farm then. I was hoping I didn't have to this harvest, but if that's the sort of income I will get, it's going to take a long time. So, new game plan. Find a decent silo and sell the next field of barley when it's the best time. Hopefully I can make a bit more next field, so lesson learned. Okay, so luckily there are a fair amount of decent silo mods available. This one will do nicely, $10,000, a steal given it can hold up to 10 million litres. Unlikely I will get to those kinds of numbers here at the farm, but it's good to have. You can find this on the American Bar mod in the mod hub. I'm not against using unrealistic mods, but given the fact that I will be harvesting volumes that are way below that, it's really just for the looks. So, if you have a problem with that, whatever, I don't care. All 2 people that will watch this video anyway, it doesn't matter. Alright, so that's sorted. So from now on, the remaining barley will go here, and we will sell when the price is best. So let's get back to harvest. Okay, and we're done for harvest this month. The remaining barley has been put in the silo. We've got a smidge over 35,000 litres in storage. Now, if I never sold the truck before that, we'd have about 55,000 litres, so that's a decent yield for those two small fields. But for now, we only have 35,000 litres because I decided to sell it, so whatever. Anyway, looks like December is best time to sell, so we will do that then. Looking at straw prices, December is also the best time to sell straw, but we'll take care of that in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I know this has been quite a time-lapse heavy episode. I know not everyone enjoys that. If you have been following along with the Dark Forest Land Reclamation Survival Series, thank you, I appreciate it. I have been enjoying making these episodes, and I really do it for fun. I like the process, and it's a small but fun way I can sort of be creative. So thank you for watching, it's greatly appreciated, truly. Anyways, enough of that. Next episode, we will finish collecting the straw, and our wheat field should be up for harvest next. Walter is expecting his harvester back after that. I can't take advantage of a friendly gesture. So, until next time, I've been the Couch Farmer, and I will catch you on the flip side.